Dow Constantine has been the King County executive for 4 terms, and he's ruined King County. I mean, I don't know how anybody could, besides him, dispute that. I'm sure his office would. Dow Constantine has absolutely ruined King County. He's made it less affordable. He has made crime worse. He has made homelessness worse. He's made substance abuse worse. In every way, except woke identity politics, he's made King County worse. Yet he continued to be reelected and reelected. I found it fascinating that he decided not to run for governor, although I think I know why, which we'll discuss momentarily, because the belief was always that he was going to throw his name in to be the next governor after Jay Inslee left, but I think he made a deal with the devil being Bob Ferguson, for perhaps a position moving forward. So Dow Constantine announced that he is not going to seek a 5th term. Wow, how generous of him, right? How generous. He posted on Facebook, because he quit X after Elon took it over. He said, "It has been the honor of a lifetime to serve the people of King County, but it's time to let a new leader take the reins and build on the work we have done." God, I hope not. No one needs to build on that work. And so I will not be seeking re-election. We must stay the course of progress, always advancing toward a future worthy of every person who is here today and all who will follow. I look forward to continuing to focus on our critical work of transit and transportation, climate action, behavioral health, affordable housing, arts and culture, and all we do to create a welcoming community where every person can thrive. Think about that. I look forward to continuing to focus on our critical work of transit and transportation, both of which have gotten worse. Climate action, which you haven't done anything on. I mean, you're like Seattle's the city where needles and filth spew into Puget Sound. Behavioral health, the mental health crisis is in every fashion worse. Affordable housing, housing's less affordable. Arts and culture, maybe there, I guess. I mean, maybe you've done stuff on arts and culture. And all we do to create a welcoming community where every person can thrive. You really think every person is thriving in King County? Oh my God, for the love of God, this guy has lost his mind. He really thinks a lot of himself. Not to mention all the corruption and like his, physically trying to remove his staff, independent journalists like Jonathan Cho from press conferences, etc. So what's going on here? He didn't run for governor. Like, this guy is way too egotistical to not do something, right? So he didn't run for governor. Huge surprise. He's stepping down. His term will end January 1st of 2026. So he's got about a year and a month and a half left. What does he have up his sleeve? Interesting timing here, because you might recall that the president of the University of Washington, Anna Marie Cossey, is going to step down from her position in June of 2025, so about 7.5 months from now. That came after, of course, the Hamasniks took over the Quad, and there was all this anti-Semitism, and people were angry at her, etc., etc. Gee, Dow Constantine has, in privately a lot of circles, and I've heard this from a lot of people, has his eye on that job. And timing makes it obvious, but also what we know to be true. He wants to be the next president of the University of Washington. I wonder why he'd want to be the next president of the University of Washington and not, I don't know, run for governor. Could it be that the president of the University of Washington currently makes $1.129 million a year? One of the highest paid public officials in the state of Washington? Yeah, Cossey's annual salary, $842,000, an additional $250,000 in deferred compensation, $25,000 contribution to a yearly retirement, $12,000 annual automobile allowance, total compensation including deferred funds, $1.129 million. Now, who appoints the president of the University of Washington? Well, it's the Board of Regents, of course. Who appoints the regents on the Board of Regents? Anyone? Anyone? The governor.
The governor.
The governor. And between Jay Inslee appointments, Bob Ferguson appointments, I guarantee that the agreement was this. Because they're all, UW alums and stuff. I guarantee the agreement was that he'd not run for governor, and Bob Ferguson would make sure that he is appointed as the president of the University of Washington, and after ruining the state's largest county, gets to fail up, as we see so often, to a cushy $1.1 million job. That is exactly what's going to happen unless we start raising holy hell right now. The person who made King County less affordable, the person who made King County less safe, the person who made King County a worse place for businesses, the person who said he wanted to close the King County jail and end youth detention, the person who let the mental health and drug crisis spiral out of control, the person who has no respect whatsoever for the First Amendment, does not deserve a government taxpayer-funded job that gives him $1.2 million a year. That is the epitome of failing up. So we're going to raise holy hell to anyone who will listen about the reasons that Dow Constantine should not be the next president of the University of Washington. We don't wait until he announces that that's his intention or he gets the job appointed behind the scenes. We start it now. And if you are an alum of the University of Washington, specifically if you're, and especially if you're an alum who donates money to the University of Washington, today is the day to send a letter to the Board of Regents letting them know that you will not donate a penny more if Dow Constantine becomes the next president of the University of Washington. We start that today. You start that today. You tell your friends and family to do the same. We raise holy hell from now until Anna Marie Cossey steps down in June of 2025.
It is something that the salary for governor is just over $200,000. That's how power hungry Bob Ferguson is. He would rather take a salary that low over a $1 million salary.
Right. He wants to run for president.
Power.
I mean, little does he know that no West Coast governor is ever going to be elected president. And yes, that goes for Gavin Newsom. There are some obviously exceptions to that over time, historically, but our states have gone so far to the left that that brand of progressivism does not appeal. We saw that with Kamala Harris. Right. That brand of progressivism does not appeal to most Americans, even Democrats across the country. It's night and day. It's insane that Democrats in the Midwest are the same as belong to the same party as Democrats on the West Coast. Bob Ferguson, I give it one term before he tries to run for governor, maybe two, or president. Maybe two. But yeah, he might beat Jay. I think he'd get less than 1%. I think he's less likable than Jay. Oh, because Jay's like, I hate to say this, get your barf bag. Jay's handsome.
He is.
He's a handsome guy. He's got a big stature. He's got, the chiseled jaw and the glasses, Bob, not so much.
And he's just... we've used this
and that matters. Looks matter.
He's just swarmy.
I'm sorry, but looks matter when it comes. Yes. I hate to say it. Looks matter although Donald Trump's not the most attractive guy, but he has his stature.
He was when he was younger.
But he has his stature, and he's got a certain. What do the kids call it? Riz, right?
Oh, I'm not a kid anymore.
I hope I'm using that word appropriately, and it doesn't mean something. I think
it's like a presidential look.
Well, he carries himself like a president, And Jay Inslee, for all the handsome man, carries himself well. I think that's the only reason he beat Rob McKenna, because on the debate stage he was horrible, but he kind of has that look or whatever. And if it was close, but so it's just 100% that's what happened. Bob Ferguson said Dow Constantine because this is what they did for Hillary Franz. Remember? Hillary Franz she did enter the race for governor, and she was like, I'm not going to let men tell me I can't run. Well, then what happened? Well, Derek Kilmer, I don't think Derek Kilmer did that of his own volition, said he's not going to run for Congress again. And then they let Hillary Franz run for that seat, even though she lives in Magnolia, run for the seat in the 6th congressional district, but then they abandoned her. And Democrats supported Emily Randall, who's now won Congress there. So Hillary's out of the picture. So I guarantee Bob Ferguson made a promise to Dow Constantine. We'll push out Anna Marie I don't even know how to say her freaking name. I did send her a book, though. I wonder if she ever got it. Anna Marie Cossey. And then Dow Constantine can have that job for $1.2 million a year. How mad would that make you? $1.2 million for Dow Constantine, get a $12,000 automobile license or allowance, annual automobile allowance, so somebody can drive him around. Give me a break.
If he doesn't get the job, if there is this backlash and he doesn't get the job, I hope he gives us something good on Bob. I hope he gets revenge for not getting the job.
Well, that's what we need to start it now. I mean, we absolutely need to start it now. And I know it's easy for me to say don't donate to the university, but I think a lot of conservatives in particular have already pulled their donations after the whole anti-Semitism debacle and how it was handled and the way that university has continued to go further and further to the left. But again, if you're an alum, even if you don't, donate money, send a letter to the Board of Regents letting them know why you would be opposed to any effort to put Dow Constantine into that position. So we've got to start that now. Absolutely, 100%.